Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Body and the kind of, I guess you call it a diet that goes along with this book, and just kind of tell you what my experiences were with it and what my results were and a couple of tricks that I have. So first, let me just talk about what the actual diet is, what the do's are, what the don'ts. So let me just go into the don'ts. He says no white carbs for 6 days out of the week. All right, so Monday through Saturday, no white carbs. So no bread, no rice, no cereal, potatoes, pastas, deep fried, anything with bread batting, none. And I guess the idea here is that the carbs get converted into glucose, which spikes your blood sugar level, which causes your body to release insulin, and I guess insulin causes your body to store fat. So there's nothing really unique here about this. The paleo diet, the Atkins diet, if you follow the glycemic index diet, all these things, they try to avoid carbs, either eliminate them or minimize them. So that's kind of the first rule. That's the first don't in Tim Ferriss's book. Another don't is don't drink any calories. And this is one, it's been a couple of months now and I'm still implementing this. I like this. So don't drink soda. Don't drink sports drinks. Don't drink any of that crap. It doesn't fill you up. You don't get really any benefit from them. It's just sweet tasting water. You can drink some coffee. You just got to be careful about adding sugar and cream and all that stuff. And you can drink water. Drink plenty of water. I love water. I drink it all the time. Sometimes I mix it up. I get those little Mio energy bottles. I spray it in there, just the regular Mio stuff. Spray in there, add some flavor to it. So that's the second don't in his rules. Don't drink any calories. He also says don't eat any fruit. Now this might not make sense when you first think about it. Why would I eat any fruit? But fruit is full of sugar. It really is. It's full of fructose. Fructose gets converted into glucose, which raises your blood sugar, blah blah blah, releases insulin, causes you to get fat. And that makes sense to me. It's just like carbohydrates. That does make sense. So let's get into some of the do's. He says, eat the same meals over and over again. And this may sound really boring, but I'm willing to bet most of you guys are doing this already. I know me, I eat the same thing for breakfast every day. I can eat eggs. I can eat eggs every day. For dinner, I have maybe 2 or 3 dinners that I cook throughout the week, and I just kind of repeat them. And that's not that hard. For lunch, I have 2 or 3 places that I go, and I just kind of keep going back to them and get the same things. You don't have to be the exact same meal every single day, but just try to limit it. Maybe 10 meals that you cycle through. So that's his first do, is eat the same meals over and over every day. Every meal should contain 1 protein, 1 vegetable, and 1 bean. So the beans are where you're getting your carbs at, because they have carbs in them, but they're, I guess, slow releasing carbs. They're somehow different than regular carbohydrates. You don't really think of beans as carbs, but I guess they are. So this was tricky for me at first. But I found a couple, shortcuts. So for dinner, I can do this. I can eat beans and broccoli and chicken or fish or shrimp or something like that. I can do dinner. Breakfast, I can do eggs for the protein, piece of cake. Sometimes I'll make an omelet with some spinach in it. Okay. Sometimes I'll just have to eat green beans for breakfast. Not my favorite thing to do, but I'll do it. And what I've been doing is eating baked beans. Like I get a little serving of baked beans and I'll eat that with my eggs, and it's not bad. Now lunch, this was tricky. It took me a while to really figure out a couple meals that I can eat where I'm getting a protein, a bean, and a vegetable. And what I figured out was Chipotle. I can go to Chipotle and I get a big old bowl, and I say no rice, no rice. Instead, give me 2 servings of beans. So I'll get 2 servings of beans. I'll get whatever I want, chicken, whatever. I'll get some salsa, some corn, guacamole, those peppers. You can get all kinds of good stuff in there, and it still tastes delicious. Like, it tastes just like regular Chipotle with rice. Like, you really don't even notice that instead of the rice you're eating 2 servings of beans, and it's delicious and it's healthy as fuck for you. It's like $10 though, you know. It's not exactly cheap, but so I'll do that. I was doing that, you know, just about every day. I was getting that, and then I get a little bored with it. So I found a China buffet, and I could go in there and I could eat vegetables for lunch. You know, it's very hard finding vegetables for lunch, but a China buffet, you can get shrimp and green beans and whatever else you want. You get like 10 proteins to choose from, and hopefully they have some kind of beans that you can eat there. And so that was it. You know, lunch was the hardest one for me. So another tip of Tim's is to splurge on the 7th day. So on the 6 days of the week, follow this to a T, okay? So protein, beans, and vegetables every single meal. Don't drink any carbs, don't drink any calories, no white carbs, don't eat any fruit. 7th day, eat whatever the hell you want. Don't just eat whatever you want. You want an incredible excess of calories. Just eat as much as you possibly can of everything that you want to eat. And the logic behind this is that, you know, when you're eating proteins and beans and vegetables, your daily calories are probably going to go down. So if they say if you eat, you know, if you're used to eating 2,000 calories a day, but you're only eating 1,600 calories a day for 6 days in a row, like, your metabolism is going to adjust to that, and it's only going to burn that many calories, and it's going to start storing more food because it thinks that you're in a calorie deficit. So by splurging on the 7th day, your caloric intake is going to spike like crazy for 1 day and then come back down. And at first I was like, I think that's kind of fishy, but it worked for me. Okay, well, first off, it helps you stick to the diet. It makes it so much fucking easier to have a cheat day, and not just saying, oh, okay, well, I can eat bad today, but saying I must eat bad today. Like, mentally, that really did help me out. But physiologically, I would see myself losing weight every single day of the week, and then on the 7th day, I would pretty much gain most of it back. But then the next week, when I lose all that week, I would end up at a lower weight than I did the week before. I'd gain it back, and then that following week, I'd end up at even lower weight. So even though I'd gain a lot of that weight back, I would lose it, you know, by the end of that week. I would lose it all plus more. And I get a feeling, you know, a lot of it is you're eating carbs. So a lot of it is probably just carb weight, I guess. So I guess the carbs, it makes your body absorb moisture more. Supposedly it makes it hold on to water a little bit more, a little bit longer. So one tip that I have to anybody who's trying out this diet is I highly recommend you get yourself one of these. So this is a Withing, all right? Yes, Withings Bluetooth scale. So I step on this thing every single morning. I wake up, I go take a leak, and I get on the scale. And every day it takes my weight, and then it sends it off to, you know, through the Wi-Fi network to the internet. It goes to a server, and from that server it goes to my smartphone, and I can track it on my phone. I can see how much I weigh that day, and I can see every single day, and it graphs it. So when I'm on this diet, I can see myself going down, 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 and then spike back up, and then start all over again, going down, down, down. And it was great. It really helped me keep me motivated. I could instantly see, you know, how my diet affected my weight. So I highly recommend buying this scale or any other Bluetooth scale if you're trying to lose weight, but especially with this diet. Because, you know, at the peak, I would lose half a pound a day. consistently, for about 6 days. Every single day I would lose about a half a pound. Okay, so what is that? It's 2.5 pounds in 5 days. So 3 pounds over 6 days. I might gain back 2 of those pounds in that splurge day. But then the next week, I would lose those 2 pounds plus another pound. So at first, this diet did work for me. After a while, though, after about 2 months of being on it, I eventually got to a weight and I plateaued. I just didn't go any lower. No matter what I did, I just could not get any lower on this diet. And because of that, I eventually dropped this diet. So another thing I want to talk about this diet is, he says he wants you to eat beans every meal. And that is really hard. Beans are kind of gross. And I burnt myself out on beans. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever drank so much that, like, you start puking and it's like, oh, it's gross. And let's say you're drinking tequila. The next day or for the rest of your life, you smell tequila. You just associate it with that one terrible night you had. Like, that's how I am with beans now. I ate so many freaking beans that the idea of eating more beans is fucking gross. Like, I don't even like smelling beans now because I ate so many fucking beans for like 2 months straight. I'm just sick of beans. So for me, eating beans every single day and having beans as your only source of carbohydrates, that's not sustainable. I can't do it. Some of his other tips, they are sustainable. I can go without drinking any calories. So there you go, guys. That is my interpretation of Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Body, his routine and everything. He's got some useful tips in there, and he's got some that I'm not really too wild about, and for me it wasn't sustainable. But it worked at first. I lost maybe 10 pounds altogether over 22 months. And then I just kind of plateaued. Even though I was sticking to the diet, I kind of plateaued and I totally lost all motivation. I didn't fall off the bandwagon here, I kept some of the tips. I don't drink any calories ever. I never even thought about that before, but now I'm consciously thinking about, do I need this 150 calories in this Gatorade? No, I don't. I don't drink calories anymore. So I have Tim Ferriss to be thankful for that. But I can't eat beans every day. It's fucking gross. Alright, thanks guys. Good luck.